fuck is up, YouTube? Welcome back to For the Boys podcast. Thank you for listening, viewing, subscribing. To start off with, we got our guest here, Ben, today. He's a good friend of the podcast. And just start out with, boys, how you been? Haven't talked to you guys all week.
Yeah, I've been great. I've been saving stories for the podcast, talking to Ben, talking to Avery.
Yeah, I mean, I just
spending money.
Working all day.
Working and smashing.
Yeah, he did buy me lunch the other day and dinner last night. I ain't gonna lie.
What did he buy?
Damn. Yeah, he bought me canes. It was good.
Because if one of us eats, all of us eat.
Yeah.
Boy with the Tommy Hilfiger shirt on, guy.
No, it ain't for nothing,
both of us,
yo.
bro.
Pablo Escobar looking at us, bro.
Oh, both of y'all have a Tommy Hilfiger shirt on.
Shit, but he looks like every
Some
Mexican
light.
kid. Like,
Bro, stereotypical.
Yeah, he does,
like,
right?
like
Look,
the Mexican
and he
kid where
got the-
you know his
nah,
dad's a trap
I ain't gonna
lord.
do it to him. I ain't gonna do it to him.
And Avery looks like every chancho.
Hey. Let me buy your sweats.
No.
But, shit. I mean, how was your week, bro? You said you just worked. That's
yeah,
it?
all I did was work, chilled, slept, ate, came here.
Now that you're out of
Bought an
quarantine, you're beating your meat left?
Less, yeah.
And how's that OnlyFans you bought?
Whoa.
Should we jump right into it?
Bro, yeah. Go for
I
it.
didn't buy an OnlyFans.
What about you, Ben?
Wait.
Did you buy an OnlyFans?
I have bought an OnlyFans before. I'm not currently subscribing, but
Talk
yeah.
about it.
Okay, so actually, I bought an OnlyFans for this dude who's like a super fit supermodel or something like that. And his name is Hayden Monteleone. And anybody who's watching this who's like gay or whatever probably knows who he is. He's just like a super fit model. And I was like, shit, I'm gonna buy his OnlyFans and check it out.
How much was
Was
it?
it worth it?
It was like $6, I think, at the time. Yeah, it was worth it.
That's a rip, bro. I don't know. I can't do that.
Avery paid 20. So.
Hey, I paid a total of $18 for whatever the fuck I wanted. So
Damn.
Did you smash?
no.
Well,
Did you?
Hey, you don't pay for
gifts.
smashing.
Hey.
though. You gotta
hey,
give.
she's
Never
from
pay for
Texas,
smash.
though.
Hey,
She's from
no.
Texas.
When she calls you babe in the first 5 sentences, like it's over. Like she's a hoe. She's a hoe.
She's a hoe.
What'd
Or
she
she's
say?
used to it and she's just trying to get money from
Yeah.
you.
She said, "What's up, babe?"
She's like, we can meet halfway, and I was like, nah, I ain't finna do none of that.
God damn.
She said,
halfway
we
and
can
steal
meet
your
halfway,
wallet."
but I need $300 for gas. My Hellcat.
Yeah,
She's
for
like,
real.
"You gotta pay for the hotel too, and you gotta pay for my spa."
Never shows up.
Shit, but you know what? Just send me the money and I'll book the room. Just send me the money. No.
It's fucking hilarious. All right, well, Ben, you're our host today. Like I said, he's a good friend of the show. I mean, to start off with, Ben, I really don't know much about you other than what I know from the past like 30 years, I would say.
Right.
So, I mean, talk about a little bit about you and your background. You know.
Yeah, sure. So,
That's
well, yeah, obviously my name is Ben, and we all live in the same town. We all work at the same place. But yeah, I guess growing up, you know, from when I guess we'll start when I was born. So I almost died when I was a little kid. About 3 weeks after I was born, I caught bacterial meningitis. And anybody who has had that or knows what it is, it's like a really super deadly disease for children. It has about I think a 97 or 96 mortality rate, 96% mortality rate. I caught bacterial meningitis, and my mom actually caught pneumonia at the same time, and we were both sick in the hospital. And you know, I wasn't responding to any of the medicine for a long time, and I guess just after prayer and stuff like that, you know, my mom was real into that. You know, I just started responding to the medicine after a few weeks, and then I got better, and then I lived.
Hey.
So, like that's crazy. Yeah. So that's how I started. I was also premature. I was like a month and a half premature.
Oh wow.
So I was a little bitty baby, and now I'm a big ass fucking dude, whatever. But like. But yeah, and
He was
so,
literally a big ass dude.
Yeah, bro, fucking 300 pounds.
Well, I
But
think
yeah.
we've all almost had. I know I've almost died.
Yeah.
Have you
For real?
almost died?
Almost smashed my face on the dash one time when somebody hit.
I mean, knocking
us.
myself out on the playground counts, I guess.
Bro, we thought you broke
I
your
thought you were
spine.
dead.
What happened to you, Jesse? I want to hear about that.
When I was 4, my appendix burst,
Oh,
and I know that's like a decently common thing.
Yeah,
Well, it's still like toxins going into your body.
Yeah,
right?
but
Yeah.
my appendix burst, and there was a lot of, you know, stuff going on in my body, and I was only 4 years old, and when your appendix bursts, it can actually kill a grown adult in like minutes. So I'm not really sure how I didn't die, obviously, but we went to the emergency room, and after I'd been throwing up for hours, and they cleaned me up or whatever, took everything out, And then they sent me home, and then they didn't actually get everything out. So I still had like some poison left in me, and I had to go back, and I almost died.
I remember that. Well, I don't remember that, but I remember you telling me the story.
Yeah, I was 4 years old.
Were you friends with him at the time?
When he was 4?
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
Probably not.
We met in kindergarten.
What about you, Avery? How'd you break your spine almost?
Trying to do some
So
monkey
we
bar
used to
shit.
play this.
He was like, I'm too heavy for this.
So in elementary, we've talked about it a little bit in the last podcast, but we used to play tag on the playground. Well, Jacob was running and he like jumped off this thing, and there was like a spiral thing right underneath it. And I followed him and I jumped and my foot got caught.
I jumped before you.
Oh, you're...
Because there's 3 of us.
I know what you're talking about. It's on the top, like it opens, right?
Yeah.
There's like a little spirally thing that goes down.
Yeah, so you can like climb down without jumping.
Oh,
Well, I tried to jump over it like them, and my foot got caught, and it flipped me upside down, and I landed on my head, and I knocked myself out. And I just remember waking up, and the teacher was over me, and she's like shaking me, trying to get me to wake up. And I just like look on my back, and I just like look like this, and I just see all the people in my grade were just lined up.
Was it like a movie when somebody wakes up, they're like,
yeah, it's like
their
real
eyes
like
open?
oh. Like that, it was like that. I was like, damn.
I remember
And I just see Jesse laughing, and I was like, what the hell?
I remember I was walking to get in line. You know how they line you up on the cement?
Yeah.
And all I heard was, bah! And I looked back, and I felt a shockwave of dust and chips come
It's
in.
almost not even that big.
hey, you know how they revived him? Have you seen those videos of the dude talking about the school nurse with the ice packs? He just
Yeah,
chunked
dude.
at him.
God. I had like wood chips in my head. I had a concussion and everything, and like the nurse was like, "Oh no, he's fine. He'll be okay." Fucking, I was like, "What the hell?"
The nurse gave him like a halfway stale cracker. You know,
She was like, "I suggest like your mom. She can come up here and check you if you want, but like I suggest you can just go back to class." And I was like, "I'm dying, bro. My head hurts."
Quick talk about the time I almost died. Well, I think I almost died like several times. Like I learned the other day from my dad and my mom actually that whenever I was 4, babe, something like that. They said that in the blinds in the other room that they heard them fall. And when they had gone in there, like, they were like, what the fuck? Like, they thought I was messing with the blinds. And, after they got up, they said that I had, like, a really bad rope burn right here. Like, I was a kid, and I didn't know what I was doing. Like, and they said almost like they think, like, somehow I got my neck caught in the curtains. And if the curtains didn't fall and break like they did, like, I would have, like, hung myself as a kid on that, which is crazy.
Damn.
It's crazy. I didn't know that either until the other day. I was like, damn. It's crazy. And then the other time, Avery was there. Bro, this was crazy. We were going to lunch, and we were in Jacob's car. His Cadillac.
Oh, my God.
Dude, we were...
I remember that, actually.
We were on the access road, weren't we?
Yeah.
And there was, like, a loop exit right behind us. Well, I say right behind us, but it's about,
It was,
like half of a football field away from us.
It was farther than that.
Yeah. It was pretty far away, but... allegedly, I don't know if this was true or not, but the lady, we think she was on her phone because she hit it. We were at a complete stop because, when you're going to lunch, like, the lines at the light are just, like, crazy because all the kids trying to go. And, what's it called? She hit it. We were at a complete stop, and she hit us full speed.
Yeah, she wasn't paying attention.
There's no way she's paying attention.
No
like,
way.
she hit us so hard where, they say, like, if you can see under the person's car in front of you, you're far enough back. Well, like, we were far enough back. Like, I remember, like, we were pretty far back from the person in front of us.
Yeah.
And even then, she hit us so hard that her car went under ours, and our car, like, jumped and hit the car in front of us. Like, it literally jumped.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being in the car just on my phone. I was looking. I think we were playing music or something.
Yeah.
I was, like, looking at Spotify.
It was
and
Black
I just go
Beetle.
flying, and my seatbelt
Sway
didn't.
Lee.
Oh, yeah, it was Black Beatles.
Yeah,
we didn't listen to that song forever.
I still
for a long
don't
time.
listen to that
I
song.
played that song one time in the car. Like, I know you're joking, but
No, go ahead.
I was on we were driving, and I just had it on my playlist, and I played it, and I was like, bumping, and Fabian's just like, I was like, what's wrong? He goes, this is the song that we played
Vietnam
whenever we
flashback.
got to wreck.
For real.
And I was like,
But it was fucking crazy.
okay, and I took it off my playlist. We don't listen to that.
But my seatbelt didn't catch,
Yeah.
and I go flying forward, and I was like this far from the dash, like my face almost hit the dash,
Inches.
and I looked back and I was like, "What the fuck, Avery?" I thought somehow he kicked my seat really hard, like he was playing around.
I was like, I didn't do it.
What? Avery's all like,
It's in the
Avery's
air.
like shocked as fuck also,
Scrunched up in the back
and
seat.
bro, you couldn't when you look back, you couldn't see the car. She like went under us.
She
almost.
literally went under
like
us.
just about under us, and Like, we were fucking, like, freaking out, like, scared. And the dude in front of us got out of his van and started yelling at the chick that hit us because, like, whatever.
They had a
I don't
baby
know.
in their car.
It was a crazy thing.
And the lady that hit us had her baby in the car. And it was just really bad. Like, fluids were leaking everywhere from the back of the car. All of our stuff was in the trunk because there was 4 of us in the car. And I just remember my friend, he just started crying because, like, he just felt so bad because he thought it was his fault. But, like, there's nothing he could done.
But, dude, if I was, like, that much forward in, the, like, my seat forward, like, I think I would have hit the dash because, like, I remember, like, seeing the dash. I was like, God damn.
Yeah, it's a blessing that her car actually went under y'all because if she hadn't, like, slipping under the car probably took off a lot of the, like, force of, the force of hitting you. Yeah. So if she had hit y'all full force and just pushed you forward, you probably would have smashed your face into it.
I mean, she completely took off she completely took off the axles from the chassis.
Yeah, she was going full speed, bro.
She was going at least 50.
She said she didn't see us.
She said, why did y'all stop?
Paying attention.
And like, there's a
stop?
There's a light, and the line was backed up because everybody was going to lunch, and so we stopped. We had to, and fucking just boom.
Yeah, that's her fault.
Yeah.
Is that what they said? Like, that's what the insurance company and everything said?
Oh yeah, it was like her fault.
There was no skid marks from her trying to slow down or anything.
Yeah, no.
So
that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're alive.
Shoot, me too. Shit, my back got damaged though. God damn, got whiplash forever from that. Like, my back, I was like, God, my back hurts. And it didn't hurt right away either. Everybody was like, are you okay, Rachel? I thought you fell again.
We got 2 gongs in this one.
Literally, I was like, bro, I thought a gong got hit earlier, and I thought you fell out of the seat. But, I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, yeah, we got out, and they were like, y'all feel all right? And we were, like, kind of in shock. We were like, yeah. And then, like, a day later, like, my back was sore.
It wasn't even like a day because we went to your house.
No, I don't think I ever got checked out.
Yeah,
Did you go back to school? Bro, you could have damage.
No, they let us leave school for the day.
Oh yeah, they didn't even say like anything. They were just like, yeah, y'all go ahead. Like, they could tell we were in shock. Like it was crazy. It didn't feel real. Like we were just like shaking and stuff. It was wild. Now that we talked about how we almost died, Ben, go ahead with the story.
Oh, I'm trying to remember.
That was a bunch of crazy stories.
Oh yeah, huh?
Everybody had a crazy story.
Shit, that was cool though. Well, yeah. So I guess trying to get back to where it was. So yeah, almost died. Blah blah blah. Got better. Grew up. Growing up, we kind of moved around a lot in our hometown. We didn't like move towns or anything, but
so you're from here?
Yeah, I'm from here. So like we moved around a lot. We never really stayed in the same place for more than a year, and that's not to like make my mom look bad at all. Like it's just that's just the way it was. You know what I mean? I have 7 brothers and 2 sisters, but my mom only had 3 kids, and my dad had like all the other kids, right? But yeah, growing up, I guess she was going through a lot of stuff, and she would have boyfriends and a different boyfriend every so often, and so that's part of the reason why we would move is because she would move to go live with whatever guy that she was with at the time, and so I guess just going through that, and all that kind of stuff happened, and then I guess just growing up in the closet and everything was also on top of all of that. Of course I was really overweight too, so I was overweight in the closet, and I just had a lot of anger and stuff. And so like as I grew up and I got older, I started going to church more, and I got saved with some youth pastors that don't live here anymore, but some youth pastors that were there at our church at the time, and I got saved, and all this stuff, and I just really changed my life around, and I started to be like a happier person, I guess. And so years go by, and we learned to live with each other and have like a good time. Like we go half on the bills, and we really just help each other out. And so later on, I start working at this new job.
Are you okay, Rachel?
It was the wind.
Oh, that was the wind on the wall?
Yeah.
Dude, I thought Rachel fell again. Okay.
No. I thought
somebody was trying to break in.
Me too. I thought somebody.
No, you're good. I just looked at you and your face is like this, so I was like, "What'd she do?"
Shit, brand new phone about to go.
For real. Bro, sorry to interrupt you, but speaking of that, Rachel had walked in here yesterday. It was hilarious, and she just like I don't know. She came back to the room, which is across the house, and she's just like her face is like this, like she's just awkward. And I was like, "What? Are you okay?" She goes, I think I heard something in the garage. And I was like,
oh, hell no.
What do you mean you heard something in the garage? And she goes,
it's a ghost.
I think I heard something in the garage. And I was like a person, an animal, or something fell or what? And she goes, I don't know. I just opened the garage, and it was a really loud noise. And so I just closed it and walked back out. And I was like, well, why didn't you say anything? Like, you're not going to, like, scream, like, oh, my God, or some shit like that. And she goes, well, I didn't want somebody to murder me if they heard me scream. And I didn't say this to her, but in my head, I was like, well, if you open the door, a big-ass light shining in, of course they're going to know you're there. So we come in here.
The noise happened after I closed the door. Okay?
Oh, okay. Oh, after she
So
closed the door.
that's why I didn't say anything, and I was just like, let me go get Fabian.
So we come in here, right, with the blicky. Nah. But we come in here, and we're looking around, and I'm like, where'd you hear it from? And she said she thought it was over there, so we're looking around. And long story short, there was nothing. And what I think it was, there was like a board back there that I had stuck behind our
right here?
cap. Yeah, it fell over, I think.
Ah.
And it made a lot of noise, but it was hilarious. Her face was just like, she was like this, like looking at me, and I was like, what? And like, her face was just drained. Like, I could tell something was wrong. I thought it was so funny.
Sorry.
Ooh, bro, I got a scary ghost
Yeah, I
story.
think there's a ghost
It was
story.
a good story, babe.
I lived in a little
funny.
haunted
It was
house
funny.
for a little
Hey,
bit.
safe than sorry, you know.
Hell no.
Avery has the
Yeah.
worst ghost stories.
Oh,
Shit.
Y'all
All right,
should-
everybody
You
got a
wanna
ghost
tell
story?
one? I got
Let's
it.
go.
Yeah, I have a
Jacob's
ghost
house
story.
were
Who wants to go
freaking
first?
Bad.
Ben, you're the guest. You go last.
All right.
That way we can hear your story last. Avery, go ahead.
Avery has the best.
All right. So growing up, I used to live with my grandparents, and my grandma had a bunch of kids. She had like 5 or 6 kids, and she had a miscarriage on her first.
Who did?
My grandma.
Oh, they said your mom at first. I was like, what?
No.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So, growing up in that house, my mom and all my aunts and my uncle, my one uncle, like they grew up there too. And when we were little, my grandma used to be like, "Quit going in the kitchen at night. I can hear y'all running around."
Oh,
shit.
fuck.
And she assumed it was you, cause
and well, I mean, it was
Just
me.
guys
It was
gonna
me.
get a
It was me and my sisters and my other
Ooh, I
cousin
got
that lived
chills.
there, and so we were all the same age, like around the same age, like within 3 years. And so she'd be like, "Quit going in the kitchen. I can hear y'all running around." Well, one night she put powder in the kitchen to see, and it was like a little bitty foot, like not even 3 inches, you know, like just running around in circles around their little island.
God damn.
And sometimes whenever I would go home and like I could see all the way straight through the back of the house, there's 3 rooms: my grandma's room, my cousin's room, and then it was my room. Well, in my cousin's room, you could see somebody peeking at you from the door,
Oh,
and then it would close the door after. Yeah, and then
Damn, that was perfect
recently,
timing for that to make that
for real, I was
noise,
like.
yeah.
But recently, we were all at my great grandma's, or not my great grandma's, we were at my grandma's house, but my family from San Antonio that never really goes to my grandma's house, were there because we had a funeral in the family and a death in the family. So,
Oh, sorry.
this is like 2 months ago, but my Theo, he's older, he's like in his 70s, 60s, 70s, and he was walking through, and everybody's in the living room, and he looks and he's like, "Who the fuck is that?" And he saw the same little kid
Oh,
that
hell
I
no.
see at the door, and I just shut the fuck up. I was like, I knew I was like, hell no. Yeah.
well, mine is actually pretty recent, like yesterday.
Oh, God.
Hell no.
So I don't know if y'all remember
Get away
or
from
know
me.
at all, but my grandpa had cancer,
Oh.
and
okay, yeah.
he died in our house, like 5 months ago. And I don't really like thinking about it. Like, yeah, he's just a ghost chilling in our house, like fucking doing whatever.
Mm.
And so like I don't really think about it. And I was like, yeah, that's not a thing. Whatever, he's not here. Well, yesterday I was asleep, 6 p.m. And
Oh, you're taking a nap.
yeah, they were supposed to call me to get some food, right?
Mhm.
And they called me, and I never answered because I was asleep. And I woke up because my brother was like, "Jay, where you at?" And I was like, "The heck?" So I thought something was wrong, so I ran out, and he was like, "Did you just come from your room?" And I was like, "Yeah." Everybody looked at each other, my grandma, my brother's girlfriend, and him, and they're like, "We just heard you walk into the kitchen." And I was like, I just came out of my room. And then
Oh.
the thing that makes it worse is that my grandma had a dream about my grandpa last night, and that she was standing in the kitchen, and I was standing in the kitchen, and my grandpa and my grandma used to fight. They were either fighting or they were like loving each other. Like that's all it was. And so she saw him walk into the kitchen and then didn't say a word. And then she saw another him walk into the kitchen, happy, like hugging her, whatever. And then I was like, what's going on? Like, I can't see them, but she saw them. Mm-hmm. And that was like the end of her dream. And so we kind of think it's like he's walking, like, you know, walking through the house, whatever. Because when he walked, like, he did not give two fucks if you were asleep. He was stomping all over. And so we think, like, he's just walking around the house. And I mean, there's been stuff like my computer's turned on by itself.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, and I remember I was laying in bed, and, you know,
your computer has all the LEDs too,
yeah,
right?
it has all the LEDs and all that on there. And so I was like, and when you press my computer button, it makes a loud click. Like, it's like you have to push it in. It's not just like a real quick slide or whatever. And so I heard the click, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I saw the LEDs come up on my ceiling, and I was like, oh, hell no. And so I got up, and I turned my computer off, and I was like, motherfucker, electricity acting up. But I was actually low-key scared. I was low-key scared,
Calm
though.
yourself down, though. You're like,
Yeah, and then, like, I had a painting above my bed that was, like, not nailed in, but, like,
I know what painting
there's really no way it can move. And it fell over one night in the middle of the night.
And it's still like that.
And, I haven't put it up.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, so one of the places that I lived at when we were a kid, we lived in this little like yellow trailer on 29th Street, and I don't know anybody in this town knows like the numbers.
Yeah,
everybody calls the numbers. You know what I mean? They're like the ghetto streets, you know, like the barrio or whatever.
Which is nothing wrong if you live in the number
Nothing wrong
streets.
with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I used to live there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I used to live there too.
We lived on 27th Street, not 29th. 27th Street in this like old like big double wide mobile home trailer thing, right? And we lived there. I think I was like 6 or 7, but I remember living there very well. You know what I mean? Because a lot of freaky stuff happened there that had just stuck with me. But basically, it was a 2-bedroom, and both of the bedrooms were on opposite ends of the house, right? The master bedroom, which my mom and her at the time husband lived, and then me and my other 2 brothers, Jeffrey and Daniel, were in the room way far down. And so, like, we would hear shit all the time, like, on the roof, you know, like, scratching or whatever, but there was also a lot of squirrels and trees above us, so, like, you know, whatever, we just thought it was squirrels and shit, right? Well, at the time, no one in the house smoked, but every so often we would smell cigarettes, and we'd be like, who's smoking? Nobody. My mom didn't smoke, her husband at the time didn't smoke, you know, I didn't smoke, obviously, and my 2 brothers, they may have been smoking, but they weren't smoking in the house, you know what I mean? But we would just smell like cigarettes. Like at random times, and it was so strong you could really smell it, and it would make you sick, it'd make you nauseous, you know. And so like I remember specifically, you know, at nighttime sometimes you would hear footsteps, you know, and people say you hear footsteps and you just think it's like, you know, just whatever, you know. Footsteps is like a common thing to hear when you're talking about ghost stories, right?
Yeah.
Well, I remember one time specifically, my brothers had been watching scary movies, and I didn't want to sleep in the room with them, so I was sleeping in the living room. So I'm in the middle of the house, right? Everyone else is on the opposite ends of the house, and it's like, I think early in the morning, but I was asleep, and I'm laying there, and I'm just kind of feel like you're asleep, but I just felt something weird, and I just felt like a presence or something like that, and then I start waking up, right? And I wake up, and I fall from about 4 feet in the air above the couch onto the couch, and not like I was like sitting up. I'm talking my legs, my whole body was in the air, and I just like remember opening my eyes, and then I fell into the couch, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like a little kid, of course, and I was like scared, so I laid there like frozen in fear.
Sorry,
I couldn't even move for a while. I was just like, I was laying there, and I was looking around, and I could smell cigarettes, right? I was looking around, and so I like wrapped myself up in a blanket after a while, and I ran to my mom's room, and I shoved the door open, and I jumped in the bed, and I was like, Mom. And I was like, Mom. And she was like, what? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I couldn't even explain what happened. I was just so scared. Like, I don't even know if I've told my mom this story to this day. Like, I can't even remember if I've told her. But I jumped in the bed with her, and I remember like sleeping in the bed with her that night. And that was it. Like, that was it, right? I never slept alone ever again in the living room, anywhere. I always slept either with my brothers in the room or with, you know, my mom or whatever. And so, come to find out, after we had moved out, I think a year or so afterwards, my mom was talking to the landlord of that property, and she said, yeah, you know, my mom just kind of told her some of the weird stuff that we kind of experienced while living there. She said, yeah, sometimes it would smell like cigarettes, and, you know, we didn't know why because nobody smoked, and, you know, Benjamin and the kids were kind of freaked out sometimes. They said they heard noises and things, but, you know, whatever. And the lady was like, well, I didn't want to tell you guys this before you moved in. But she said a couple of months before y'all moved in, there was an elderly man who had died in that house. And he was a heavy smoker, always smoked all the time. And his wife had passed away like a few months before him. You know, he was one of those where he just like died right after his spouse did. And he died in that house in the living room, sitting in a chair.
She had to secure the bag first, you know?
She had to secure the bag, right? So she didn't tell us that story. But finding that out after the fact, you know, he was an old man. He was a heavy smoker. And, you know, the footsteps we would hear were kind of like lumbering footsteps, you know, like an elderly man kind of shuffling through his house, you know. And of course, the experience that I had where I just, you know, fell from midair onto the couch, like just freaks me out to this day. Yeah, he's like, get out of my house.
I just imagine you, the old man from Monster House, he's like, get off my lawn.
Bro,
like, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty fucked up. That's ingrained in my memory until the day I die.
But yeah, I kind of want to go into to you as like your weight. So we kind of hinted at this earlier. You were big, like huge. So like total, what were you? What was your total weight?
I'm like
no, you were
no,
big.
I was, yeah,
I'm proud of your
I've seen
transformation.
pictures.
Your transformation is amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, so at my biggest weight, I was almost 300 pounds. I think it was 290 pounds. I'm 5'10". So yeah, my biggest weight, I was almost 300 pounds. You know, I was just always a big dude. And so like about 3 years ago, after I started working at, you know, this new job, I like met a lot of interesting people, and everybody there was like so fit and so healthy, and it just really motivated me to like want to lose weight. You know what I mean? And so like I started working out, and in a span of like 6 months or so, I lost like 100 pounds basically. I lost 97 pounds.
Yeah, you were going hard.
Yeah, I was going hard. I was working out like 3 hours a day, super strict diet every single day. I wouldn't really take a rest day. If I did, I felt like I didn't do enough, and I would go even harder the next week, which is like not very healthy for you, you know. Now, of course, I've learned and I've gained a lot of experience on how to lose weight and how to eat healthy, and so I have a healthy relationship with food and working out, you know. But
kind of balance it almost.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, you know, I lost a ton of weight, and then I've gained a little bit back because the weight that I was at, the lowest, was like pretty unhealthy for me because I had to maintain a super strict like.
What was that weight?
Like the 175 was the lowest.
You were down to
I ever
175?
got. Yeah,
wow.
bro.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's my actual BMI that the doctors say that I'm supposed to be at, but everyone's different. You know, mine at 175 is really hard for me to maintain that weight. You know, so right now I sit at like 195, 200 pounds. I think I've been steadily losing weight. I had gained like 25.
Feel miserable.
Yeah,
right?
no, I don't know, not at all.
Yeah.
I feel really good about myself. You know, I feel confident. I definitely feel, you know, like I'm attractive, you know, if that makes any sense. It's good to kind of feel that way about yourself, you know, and if you don't, you should, you know, you deserve it. So, but yeah, you know, I lost a bunch of weight, and then now I kind of have like my story posted on like Instagram and like Facebook and stuff.
It's definitely like motivating, I guess you can say, like seeing you go from what you did to where you are, you know. And I feel like you had a lot of personal growth as well, I would say.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like your mentality changes, and you just learn new things about yourself, you know, that you didn't know before, and it's just it's an experience, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're discovering new parts about yourself and new things about what you can do and what you can handle, and it kind of makes you a stronger person overall, you know?
And then after your weight loss journey, I know you got a surgery. What's the surgery called?
Yeah, so I've technically had 3 separate operations done, but the first surgery I had, they did 2 separate operations, and then I just had another one. But the first operation I had was called a lower body lift with a chest reduction. So that's the 2 different operations. So basically what they did is they put me under, and this was to remove loose skin, because after I lost weight, I didn't have, you know, I wasn't blessed with good genes to just not have loose skin. So I had a lot of loose skin on my chest, on my, you know, my stomach especially. Those are the areas that really bothered me, and so that's why I had the surgery. But they did a chest reduction, so they like cut me from like under my armpits all the way around to like right here, and they like, you know, shaped it and, you know, took out the excess skin on my chest. And then on the lower body lift, they almost went completely around my waist. They started from like where the belly button is all the way around my waist, and they left about this much room in the backside that wasn't cut up or whatever. And they took out like a huge strip of skin, and they just pull it down and they sew it up and suture it together, you know, and they put surgical tape on it. And yeah, so that was the first operation I had. And the second operation I had, which was just a few months ago actually, was they called it a lower back lift. And it's basically, he went in and did the same thing, like took skin around my waist again. So he basically did that whole thing again, just to bring it down a little bit more and tighten it some more. And so, yeah, overall I've spent about $22,000 on these surgeries. So like, it's worth it for me. You know, I think about it sometimes, I'm like, fuck, I could get my car off by now, you know? But it wasn't something that's important to me, and I've definitely, you know, grown a lot from it and have a lot of experience dealing with like plastic surgery in that sense. And so I feel like if anyone has any, you know, questions or anything that they can ask me, I can give them accurate information about like what you really need to do and how you really need to do it, you know?
Yeah, well, one thing I was thinking is like, after the surgery now, do you still feel like it was worth it?
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
Is that one of the things that you want to take back, kind of thing?
No, I would never take it back. The biggest thing about it is like the sense of relief that I have when I look in the mirror, you know, like the sense of like security, and I guess you could call it like I had body dysmorphia before, because before I would just look at myself in the mirror and I would feel so bad, and I couldn't physically do anything about it. Like I couldn't. No matter how hard I tried to think positive and stay positive about whatever, you know, I just really just felt awful about myself. And it was so miserable coming to work sometimes, or even just going out with friends. Like anytime I passed by a mirror in the bathroom, I would try not to even look at it, because if I just looked and I just saw my, you know, my skin popping out somewhere, it just didn't look right to me, you know, I would just feel awful, and it was just a terrible feeling. And so, you know, I don't even ever have that anymore. So like I look at myself in the mirror, I feel good. I feel like I look good. I feel confident. And it's just like been the biggest relief for me. And that if I had to do it all again, I would, just for that sense of relief that I feel from it, you know?
Did you have any like worries going into it? Like,
yeah, well, I mean, I was always worried that I wasn't going to wake up from the anesthesia, you know, because I had never been put under before. And so like that was kind of scary going. Yeah. It was fun like doing it, but at the same time I was like, fuck, I hope I wake up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like that's a big thing that happens with anybody who's had a surgery. Have you guys had a surgery before?
No, I never.
You've never had a surgery? You have though, right?
Yeah, but not where I was put under.
You never had one where you're put under? Yeah, I know. When I had a surgery that I was put under, I felt like I was like, well, this could be my last days on Earth.
Some people haven't woken up. It's happened. Yeah. You know, there's something that they don't know they're allergic to, and you know, I mean, it's rare. Obviously, it's not like they have cases every day of people dying from anesthesia, but you know,
but it happens.
But it happens, and so it's just something that I thought about. But honestly, in the moment when they were like wheeling me back into the room to do the surgery, and they had like injected the serum or whatever into me, like it felt more fun than anything. Like I was kind of overcome with like a sense of like, wow, this is gonna be really fun. And I think it was the chemicals they put in me. You know, I think it's like really like calms you down, because they give you a shot into your IV before they put the gas on you. So they give you a shot of this, I think they call it like magic syrup or something like that. I don't remember. And then they wheel you back in, and then you don't pass out until they put the gas mask on you and you breathe it in, and then you're fucking out, you know? But yeah, so I just remember it was like, wow, this is really fun. And it was so crazy, actually. I ran into a friend that I have been friends with for years that I hadn't seen in forever in the surgery room right before I was about to fall asleep. I heard this girl come over, and she was like, Ben? And I was like, huh? And I looked, and I was like, I could just recognize her face instantly, even though I hadn't seen her in years. And I was like, Kaylee? And her name was Kaylee, actually. It was pretty funny. I was like, Kaylee? And she was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, you couldn't have chosen a better doctor. She said, we're really going to take care of you, and, you know, everything's going to be great. And I was like, okay.
Oh, I don't know why. In my head, I was like, I thought you said you could have chosen a better doctor. And I was like, damn, that's like the worst thing to hear before you go.
He said,
maybe
what?
I did say that. No.
For real?
I could not.
Too far gone, dog.
Yeah.
Too far.
I'm like, okay. Pass the fuck out. But yeah, and then I asked after, like, when I went for my checkup, if that was real. Like, you know, I asked the doctor. I remember seeing a friend of mine in the room. Did that really happen? He was like, yeah, her name was Kaylee, blah, blah. She works with us. And I was like, damn. So I don't know. It just really made me feel like I was in the right place and I was where I was supposed to be, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, what would you say, like I've seen on places before, like YouTube or whatever, people saying that they're scared to lose weight because they don't want, you know, loose skin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would you tell those people as somebody who's like gone through the whole like the process of losing weight and the surgery? You know,
Right. I would definitely say it's worth it. Like, it's worth it to
losing
be
weight
healthy,
or the surgery,
losing weight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't have to have, you know, a loose skin surgery if you don't want to. You know what I mean? That's completely up to you. But I would always recommend losing weight to anybody who wants to. You know, anybody who is struggling with it and they feel like they're unhealthy. You know, they're at risk for diabetes or whatever. You know, it's definitely worth the peace of mind to be healthy, to know that you're going to be on this earth longer than average. You know, you're going to be here with your friends longer than average, with your family, with the love of your life, with whoever. You know what I mean? It's just so much more. It's so much better to lose the weight and to have loose skin and to you know, deal with that than to not try to lose weight at all and just be overweight all your life and die at 50, be of a heart attack. You know what I mean? Or something like that, you know? And so, like, you can... I would highly recommend always losing weight. And, you know, if you don't want to have this surgery, you don't have to. I follow a guy on social media. His name is Obese to Beast.
Oh, I've seen that guy.
Yeah, he's got a ton of loose skin. I mean, he lost like 260 pounds. I mean, he just takes his shirt off and, you know, he can, like, he's got a flag or something waving in the air. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. He doesn't want to have surgery. He's been... he lost the weight like 6 years ago, and he's proud of his loose skin, and he will walk around with his shirt off. He doesn't give a fuck, you know? And so you don't have to have the surgery, but I would always recommend, you know, to anybody who's struggling with being overweight or wanting to lose weight, you know, to do it. Go for it. It's definitely worth it in the long run.
Yeah. What's like the mindset though? Like a lot of people, you know, start a diet, start a workout.
Yeah.
You know, after a month or
so you got to stick with it. They say that it takes 21 days to form or break a habit. So like, I would just highly recommend 3 weeks. Push yourself for 3 weeks to eat healthier. Like, you don't even have to work out for 2 or 3 hours a day. 30 minutes. Start just small.
Something. Huh?
30 minutes. Go for a walk. Go for, you know, a little jog where you jog 5 minutes and then you walk, and then you jog 5 minutes and then you walk. You know what I mean? Just do something small just to get started, you know, and once you do that for 21 days, it's so much easier once you get past that point. It just becomes like a routine instead of like, I got to do a diet. I have this habit I'm trying to form. It just becomes routine, and then you just stick with it. You just stick with it, and you just keep going, and you keep going, and you know, that's exactly what I did once I got to a point where I was like, damn, I'm actually losing weight. It was exciting, you know, like you feel like, wow, I'm actually doing it. You know, like when I lost my first 20 pounds was when I was like, really, wow, like this is actually happening, and I didn't stop. You know what I mean? And I would just recommend that to anybody who wants to do that, you know, and lose weight and stuff like that. You can do it, you know, just stick with it. Anybody can do it. Anybody can make it happen for themselves, and it's just really worth the peace of mind, you know, after the fact. And yeah, I hope I answered that question.
Yeah, no.
Right.
So I know after your surgery, you played a lot of video games. So I just kind of want to
lighten
the topic of
I
talk
was
about
off
video
work
games
for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Each surgery I had 2 weeks off, and so like I played a ton of video games.
What games did you play?
So I played The Witcher 3 right now. Oh, okay. But that game is so
I played The Witcher 3, but I never finished it.
Yeah, I had to take a break because I've been playing it for like a month almost, and I don't know how far I am into it, but I think I'm pretty far. But I played it for like a month whenever I had free time, and I was like, damn, I haven't beaten this game yet. But I played The Witcher 3, and I just played this really short game called Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. And it's actually a really good game about like mental health and depression and stuff like that. And I guess, you know, with my childhood and stuff and just things that I've gone through, I was really interested in it. So I played it. Awesome. Yeah, I played it, and it just really brings a light to issues about mental health and mental health awareness and people that, you know, specifically have hear voices and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it's called schizophrenia. People who are schizophrenic, you know, I would highly recommend that people just educate themselves about that kind of topic, because mental health is a serious issue. You know what I mean? It's everybody deals with it. Everybody has issues in their head. Everybody has, you know, it doesn't matter how happy you are. Everybody has some sort of thing that's like, you know, wow, this thing really upsets me or, you know, kind of depresses me sometimes. And so I just think it was a really interesting game overall. Really cool graphics, you know, really like amazing like storytelling, and it is just badass. Like she's just like walking around, and then all of a sudden like the voices start talking, and it's like the darkness is coming, and then like the scene changes and these fucking monsters come out, and then you just have to fight them, and they're all in her head. You know what I mean? I don't know. But
she's like a Viking or something like that.
Yeah, it's like Norse mythology. So the gods that they talk about are Norse gods, like, you know, Thor, and they don't talk about Thor and Odin. They talk about other different ones, but that's the kind of stuff that they talk about.
I'm really bad about finishing games.
Bro, I have to finish them.
Like, I'm bad about it. Like, I haven't beat Red Dead. I haven't beat Assassin's Creed. I haven't beat Call of Duty.
Bro, how long has Red Dead been
I haven't.
out?
For real, exactly. And I haven't beat what's that one game? The samurai one. The Ghost of
Tsushima?
Yeah, I haven't beat that game.
That was a good game.
Oh, I've heard that's a
a
good
good
game.
game.
I hate that
just
Sekiro
bad about
game.
finishing
I know you're excited for Cyberpunk.
I am.
Have you bought it yet?
If it ever comes out.
It's
Is
out.
it out?
It's
Yeah,
out.
it's out.
No, I haven't bought it yet.
Trash.
You haven't even played it.
Trash. What is it? Fuck.
Console port.
No, the graphics. They're like
On console,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
What about our
they
PC?
gotta
Would it
patch
look good
up.
on PC?
I have
Oh,
no
it
idea.
definitely looked
Do
good.
they
on
look
PC.
good on PC? Do you have
I
it?
haven't played it. I have the game though.
Oh.
Oh, you have the game?
Yeah, I have the game.
I just feel like the graphics were trash, and they're kind of doing like what Black Ops 3 did, and they're waiting for next console or next gen.
Is it not out next gen yet?
No.
Oh.
They're waiting. It comes out next year.
Yeah, next year.
So
You can purchase it, and it's you're allowed to like
play
when
it.
you buy it, you can move it over to your PlayStation
it's free?
5.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
without
cool.
charge.
Yeah,
So-
some games do that, which is really nice because I remember whenever we were playing, what was it? Black Ops 3 was on PlayStation 3, right?
Yeah.
And then you had to
3,
rebuy it again for PlayStation 4.
Oh,
Shitty.
Yeah, that sucked. It was like spent
you-
$120.
For you could tell they half-assed it on
$120.
last gen. Like they really half-assed it.
Well, because it's 60 and 60 basically.
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
I was like $120 for a game.
Like
Yeah.
But
on
yeah.
multiplayer, you couldn't even tell it was the same map. Like even though it was from Black Ops 3 from PS3 to PlayStation 4,
The
it just
graphics
looks
are
so
so
different.
different.
Yeah.
I always
I know-
think of this one map. Oh, here, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I know you like anime, Ben, but like, what are you watching right now?
Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Attack
I've been
on
telling
Titan.
y'all about it.
I
I'm in
need
season
to
3.
get back into it.
It's so good.
I need to get
oh my
back
God, I
into
just
it.
found out. I'm in the
Hey,
episode
hey,
about.
hey!
Oh,
No
yeah,
spoilers!
sorry.
No spoilers!
Sorry, I forgot.
I ain't watched it.
You haven't watched any of it at all?
I'm in season 2. I've already finished season 2.
Okay, so you're gonna start season
Yeah,
3.
I'm in,
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I just haven't started it.
I'm in like
'Cause I'm
episode
watching Boruto.
6 or 7. You're watching Boruto too?
Yeah.
Damn. Have you watched Shippuden?
Yeah, I've watched Shippuden.
Yeah,
I've watched
Shippuden's
Naruto and
badass.
Shippuden.
Haven't you seen it like multiple times, Avery?
What, Shippuden?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
How many
watched it
episodes?
twice.
It's like a
It's
ton, right?
Avery, what character do you feel like you relate to most in Naruto?
I feel like you got an answer by your face.
Choji.
Shoji.
No.
Oh,
No.
bitch.
Dude, I don't know.
Low-key, this is gonna sound so corny, but I feel like I relate to Naruto.
Oh my god.
I feel like I relate to Neji because like I'm the only boy in my family on my mom's side, and so the way that their family clan is set up, he's not a part of like the main family line.
He's a side branch.
Yeah, he's a side branch, but he's like super strong, and like a lot of people rely on him. So I just feel like I relate to him a lot.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I feel like Naruto because not gonna lie, when I was in school, I ain't have many friends.
Yeah.
And
Not gonna lie.
you fast as fuck.
Yeah, I'm fast as fuck, dude. But
running
like
this.
no, when I was little though, I didn't really have that many friends because I honestly don't really know why. Probably because I was lame. I don't know.
Yeah.
But-
I feel like you had more friends than you give yourself credit for.
Yeah.
A lot of people I met because of you, and then like I stayed friends with them even throughout, like after you left and came back.
I'm trying
You're
to
just like a not to be corny, you're just like a genuine person.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was gonna
Like-
say I feel like I'm just like I don't try and act like I'm
Yeah,
something
you're
I'm
you,
not.
bro.
Like whatever
Yeah.
you see on the camera right now is literally just how I am. I mean, I don't
You
know.
own it, bro. Like
Yeah.
like there's no like I don't know. It's
I
really
feel like
cool.
Naruto Uzumaki, you know, never had that many friends. At least I don't feel like. And then everybody, I know one
Everybody
thing.
hating on you.
I know one thing is that a lot of people think I'm like,
What?
I feel like you're Rock Lee.
Rock Lee.
Yeah.
what?
Because like you like you do your best to like try and like make friends and like fit in and like, but like everybody still likes you. Like either way, you know, like you're just that kid. Like maybe some people think you're annoying, but then like everybody else is like. Do you know what I'm saying? Like some people are like. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, you
Honestly.
just said you're fucking.
Yeah,
I
you
know,
like
but
what Jesse
but
said
low
better.
key,
I
whenever
said
he
fuck
takes
off.
off his ankle bracelets and fucking
Well,
throws
like,
them on the ground,
one
you know,
thing I
like
know,
he's a
like-
badass.
One thing I know is that I can be annoying. Like, I can be annoying. I know I've annoyed Avery.
Yeah.
I've annoyed Rachel. I've annoyed Ben, probably.
Shit. think you're
you annoyed
annoying.
me today, goddamn.
Like-
Well, like joking.
or like
sometimes,
last
but,
night,
you know.
dude. Last night he texted us and he was like, "What do y'all want to
You
do?"
were late this morning. That
Right,
was
did you
annoying.
say what do y'all want to do?
I said, what are y'all doing tonight?
What do y'all do
Yeah.
tonight? And I was like, shit, come over, let's hang out, you know, whatever. And he goes, nah, I really don't feel like coming over. And I was like, bitch, the fuck? And on top of that, motherfucker was late today. He walked
Like,
in.
man, how you gonna
his hair
ruin
all
my
full.
weekend?
Last night, Avery gets home
I was
and we're on
mad,
the phone
bro.
and he's just sitting in his car for like
I didn't want to go home.
30
I
minutes.
didn't want to
He's
be
like,
home.
I ain't worked hard all week just to come home and be on my phone on Saturday night by myself.
Yeah.
Be on OnlyFans.
He said, I'm gonna fuck around and buy OnlyFans again.
God damn. Hey, but so last episode, Ben, we talked about Avery's love life a little bit.
Mhm.
So, or lack of. Nah, just kidding. Avery.
Not from what
talk
you've been
about
telling me.
talk about your love life a little bit. You don't have to
Whoa.
talk about any like crazy stories or anything. But like, are you
Okay,
single right
yeah.
now? Are you taken?
No, yeah, I'm definitely single. I'm not looking for a relationship. I kind of used to be before I like came out of the closet, you know, or after I came out of the closet. I was real like, you know, oh, I want to find the one. I want to find, you know, this and that. And I guess, you know, I still kind of am like deep down, you know, but I'm not really worried about that right now. I guess my mindset is just I know what I want, and I'm just gonna, you know, I want to work hard. I want to make money. I want to take care of myself, take care of the things that I need to take care of, and just not worry about all that other like touchy-feely stuff right now, you know. And so like I'm definitely single. Definitely fucking around a little bit, you know, having fun here and there and stuff like that.
What is
And
it?
so,
Grinder? Is that what
Grindr?
you're talking
grinder.
I made a grinder. Joke.
I do have it. You made a grinder.
No, I made a grinder joke.
Oh, I thought you said I made a
What was
grinder.
it? I
was
told you a joke. I don't even remember what it was. It was funny though.
about? What did I tell you the other day? I was like, I made a Tinder, a Bumble, a Grinder. You're like,
Oh,
a
yeah.
Grinder? And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. And you're like, you know that's for only gay people, right? And I was like,
I was like, you didn't make it. I was like, no, you didn't make a grinder, bro. Because he was listing off all these apps, right? And I was like, yeah. What? Hold
was
up.
like-
Are you? I looked at him and I was like, are you trying to tell me something right now that you haven't been telling
50
me?
minutes. You kind of just hit on it. You know, what are you trying to work towards? You know, right now, like what are you? You said you're trying to work hard, make
Like
money.
some goals and stuff.
Yeah. What are
Yeah.
some of your goals?
Yeah, so I definitely want to pay off my car. That's like the big thing for me right now. It was originally like a 6 or 7 year note, but I want to pay it off early. I want to try to pay it off.
You've had it for like 2 years now.
I've had it for about 2 years. Yeah, I want to try to pay it off in the next 2 years. So in like 4 years, you know. But I also want to get a house. I've been my own place. I've been looking at some tiny houses. I don't know if
I meant to
anybody's
ask you
heard
about
of
that
it.
actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
talk about that
Those
a
are
little
so
bit.
cool.
Yeah, it's this thing called the tiny house movement, and it's not like an actual movement. It's just like a social media
yeah.
Is
marketing.
that
it's
like their
booming. It's
campaign?
booming a
This is
little
what
bit.
they're
Yeah,
doing?
it's like their campaign or whatever. But basically, it's you can buy this thing called these homes called tiny houses, and they're technically classified as RVs because they're less than 400 square feet. Most of them are manufactured at 399 square feet, so that they fit that margin, you know. But basically, it's like a mobile home on wheels. It's not like a trailer home though that you think like, oh, it's just a shitty looking trailer home. It actually looks like a really nice house. They have tons of different layouts and designs, and some of them are 2-story with lofts, and some of them aren't. Some of them are just really spacious. They come with like fully equipped with like a full kitchen, you know, obviously like a full bathroom, you know, and stuff like that. It's really cool, and they come, of course, on this big trailer. You can just take it anywhere. You know, and so like I've been looking into buying one of those. They're typically anywhere from about $50,000 to $90,000, depending on how bougie you want it to be. You know,
50 to 90 grand?
50 to 90 grand. So under $100,000 for basically a house, which
But
is
you do have to
pretty
buy
nice.
the land though, right?
You can either purchase land for yourself, or you can like rent land. Like I think here in one of the parks that we have several parks here in this town. But they have like spots where you can just rent out, like rent basically, and I don't think they're that expensive either for like a little plot of land. I think maybe a couple $100 a month. So really, you would just have to take into account, you know, paying your own electric and water, how much for the land that you're going to put your house on, and then of course if you're going to get a mortgage on the house or whatever, how much that's going to be. And so that would be how much I would be looking at. I think it's about $700 or $800. It just kind of depends on which kind of house that I want to get. But on average, like I can, like thinking about it, like I'm going to be spending about $700-800 a month for just having my own house, having my own plot of land somewhere here in town.
$700 to $800 isn't bad at all.
Yeah,
actually.
that's not bad.
It's really good.
That's cheaper than most apartments.
Shoot.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah, and the house isn't like super big, but you know, it's big enough to like for myself. You know what I mean? For myself, and like if I want to have friends over, you have parties.
Person, you know
what I mean? Yeah, you can have parties in the house too. Like some of the videos I've seen, there's enough room for it. Like, you know, we just fuck around, set up a table in the loft or something, and just have like a fucking party.
Well, I was about to say, you showed me that one video of it. That loft area is huge. Like,
yeah, it looks big.
Like that looks like the size of this room, and this room is like a garage, so it's huge.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I don't know if it's that. It looks like
it looked
big,
huge though. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely a big room. So.
Yeah. I don't know if you can stand up in it all the way, but I mean, you just set up a table and everybody sits. You know what I mean? Like, that's all the room you need.
It's dope.
And so yeah, those are pretty cool. I've been looking into those.
Damn.
Cool.
Yeah.
Boys, got anything else?